How does PeakDay work for cycle charting and fertility tracking? Let's take a quick look at how to use the PeakDay app to chart your cycles, your mucus observations, and your basal body temperature. When you chart these fertility symptoms and signs, PeakDay uses that data to help you figure out the phase of your cycle and your fertile and non-fertile times of the month. When you log into PeakDay, select the day of the month that you are beginning to chart. For each day of the month, you can enter information about your fertility symptoms, signs, and cycle. It starts with menstruation and bleeding characteristics, then temperature, mucus, and other fertility signs you choose. Select Save when you are finished charting for that day. Let's talk a little more about each of the fertility signs that you can chart and some tips for charting. Let's begin with menstruation and charting your period in PeakDay. Remember, you have clicked a new day on the calendar and it will automatically take you to menstruation. To chart your period, select the bleeding icon, and then select light, heavy, or spotting. If you are not menstruating, don't choose anything. If this is the start of your period, check the box that says, "This day should start a new cycle." Now, let's chart your basal body temperature in the PeakDay app. To chart your temperature, make sure you take your temperature at the same time each morning before any activity. You should be using a thermometer that reads 2 decimal places. For example, instead of 98.1 Fahrenheit, it would read 98.15 Fahrenheit. Simply enter the temperature into your PeakDay app. If you miss a day or you're using PeakDay to track cycles without temperature, click the Ignore Temperature box. Temperatures can be recorded in either Fahrenheit or Celsius. The default setting is Fahrenheit. This can be changed by selecting the settings icon. Now, let's chart your cervical mucus sensations and characteristics in the PeakDay app. PeakDay's algorithm works best when both sensations and characteristics are recorded daily. There are 5 possible mucus sensations you can choose from. Dry. If no sensations are felt, chart dry for that day. Moist. If any kind of moist sensation was felt during the day, one that is damp or only slightly wet, choose moist sensation. Wet or slippery. If a wet or slippery sensation is felt during the day, and especially when wiping, choose wet or slippery. Wet slippery. When both sensations are observed on the same day, chart wet slippery. There are 3 possible mucus characteristics you can choose from. Nothing. If no mucus was seen on the toilet paper in the bathroom, record none for no characteristics. Tacky. Check your toilet paper for any kind of tacky mucus throughout the day. Chart tacky. This includes all thick, clumpy, pasty, yellowish, or opaque mucus. Stretchy. If repeatedly stretchy characteristics are seen when wiping, or mucus is stretch-tested between the fingers, chart stretchy. Remember to observe your mucus periodically throughout the day, but only record your most fertile observation of the day on your chart. What else can you track and chart in PeakDay? In addition to these critical fertility observations, you can use the PeakDay app to keep track of cervix signs, intercourse, hormonal test strips and monitors, medical notes, physical and emotional symptoms, weight, and more in PeakDay. There are places to track physical activity, travel, exercise, and any life event that can affect your fertility. You can customize the PeakDay app with over 60 custom fields to track what you need to fully understand your fertility. Once you have entered your data, PeakDay will calculate and you will be able to see your cycle charted in different ways. First, you can look at the calendar view of your cycle. That helps you determine the phase of fertility. The colors on the calendar will help you know what phase of fertility you are in. Remember, yellow is phase 1, green is phase 2, and purple is phase 3. Pink indicates menstruation and dark green indicates your PeakDay. To see your daily data in chart form, click View Charts icon in the primary navigation box at the bottom of the screen. This will open a view of your chart, which is very helpful in natural family planning and the symptothermal method. In the free version of PeakDay, you'll be able to track your cycles and see your thermal shift on your charts. while PeakDay Premium includes changes of phases in your cycle that take place when you are fertile or infertile. Once you have entered more than 1 month of data, you can use the Compare Chart tool for premium version users. It will compare the length of your cycles and other characteristics that could be helpful when speaking with a fertility specialist or doctor. The Stats tab in your chart section allows you to see your personal average statistics about your cycle. It's a nice summary to have the information at your fingertips. You can share your chart with your spouse, doctor, fertility coach, or NFP instructor by simply selecting Share Chart. Here are 3 important tips to remember when charting with PeakDay. Number 1, be patient and know that charting takes time. You need to have 1 or 2 cycles charted to start seeing patterns in your cycles. Number 2, be consistent. PeakDay won't work for you if you don't work for it yourself. Charting every day makes a difference. The more dedicated and consistent you are, the easier it will be for you to interpret your results. You can set PeakDay to send you a reminder or push notification to enter your daily observations if you have the premium version. Number 3, know you are not alone. Behind the PeakDay app is a team of fertility coaches and NFP teachers who are there to answer your questions and help you learn to interpret your chart. Just send a message on the message board or help icon, and we will answer your questions and guide you through charting. Once you feel ready to go, start charting. If you have any questions, we are here to help. Look at the other videos about cycles, mucus, and temperature for more information about how to use PeakDay. Remember, PeakDay is your partner for a happier, healthier, smarter fertility.